What if teaching a caveman how to make fire could accidentally erase humanity from existence? You probably think showing our ancestors some basic technology would be a gift to mankind, accelerating our development and solving countless problems. But you're about to discover why this innocent act of kindness might be the most catastrophic decision in human history. You've somehow traveled back 40,000 years to the Paleolithic era. You encounter a small tribe of Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, struggling to survive in a world dominated by massive predators and brutal climate shifts. They're using crude stone tools, barely managing to create fire, and losing members regularly to starvation and exposure. Your heart goes out to them. You know things that could transform their lives instantly. A few simple concepts about metallurgy, agriculture, or even basic medicine could revolutionize their existence. So you decide to help. You show them how to smelt copper, demonstrate crop rotation, maybe even explain the basics of the wheel or simple machines. It seems like the ultimate act of compassion. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment you share that first piece of advanced knowledge, you've just initiated a cascade of changes that will fundamentally alter the trajectory of human civilization in ways you never imagined. Let's start with the immediate consequences. Your caveman friends quickly become the most powerful tribe in their region. Armed with metal tools and weapons, they easily dominate neighboring groups. Within a generation, they've established the world's first true empire, built not on the gradual development of civilization, but on quantum leaps in technology that their neighbors can't match or understand. But this is where the first major problem emerges. Natural human development took tens of thousands of years for crucial reasons. Each technological advancement came with hard-won wisdom about its use, cultural frameworks for managing its power, and social structures capable of handling its implications. Your cavemen have bronze weapons but Stone Age ethics. They possess agricultural techniques but lack the social institutions needed to manage surplus and trade. The ripple effects begin almost immediately. With superior technology but primitive social structures, these enhanced humans start expanding aggressively. They encounter other human populations, including Neanderthals and Denisovans, but now the interactions are completely one-sided. Instead of the gradual interbreeding and cultural exchange that actually shaped human evolution, you've created a scenario where one group possesses overwhelming technological superiority. Within a few thousand years, your technological gift has led to the complete extinction of every other human species and subspecies. The genetic diversity that was crucial to human adaptability disappears. The Neanderthal genes that gave us crucial immune system advantages in our timeline? Gone. The Denisovan adaptations that helped humans survive at high altitudes? Eliminated. You've accidentally created a genetic bottleneck that makes humanity far more vulnerable to future challenges. But the consequences extend far beyond genetics. The natural pace of human development allowed for the evolution of complex languages, sophisticated social structures, and ethical frameworks that could handle increasingly powerful technologies. Your intervention has created a civilization that advances technologically at breakneck speed but remains socially and morally primitive. These technologically advanced but socially underdeveloped humans begin altering their environment at unprecedented rates. With bronze tools and agricultural knowledge, they clear forests far more efficiently than early humans did in our timeline. They hunt megafauna to extinction not over millennia, but within centuries. The gradual coevolution between humans and their environment that created sustainable practices in many indigenous cultures never has time to develop. Here's where things get truly terrifying. Your enhanced humans discover metallurgy and agriculture thousands of years early, but they also stumble upon more dangerous technologies sooner. Without the gradual development of ethical frameworks and social institutions, they begin experimenting with things they're not prepared to handle. They might discover fermentation and alcohol production, leading to social chaos in societies without cultural norms around intoxication. They could develop more sophisticated weapons without developing the diplomatic traditions that prevent constant warfare. The most disturbing possibility involves their relationship with the natural world. Modern indigenous cultures that developed slowly often created sustainable practices and spiritual relationships with their environment that lasted thousands of years. Your cavemen, armed with powerful tools but lacking this wisdom, begin treating nature purely as a resource to exploit. They trigger ecological collapses that took thousands of years longer in our timeline. But here's what you didn't consider. The Bronze Age collapse that occurred around 1200 BCE in our timeline was devastating partly because civilizations had gradually built up complex interdependencies. Your accelerated human society faces similar collapses far earlier, but without the institutional knowledge to recover. When their enhanced civilization inevitably faces a major crisis, whether from climate change, warfare, or resource depletion, they lack the cultural resilience that developed societies possess. The cascade continues through the millennia. These humans might achieve certain technological milestones thousands of years early, but they consistently lack the social and ethical development to use them wisely. They could discover writing, mathematics, and even basic sciences millennia ahead of schedule, but without the philosophical traditions that guide their application. What happened next will blow your mind. Your technological intervention doesn't just change human history. It alters the entire trajectory of consciousness on Earth. The gradual development of human culture in our timeline produced art, music, philosophy, and spirituality that emerged from specific struggles and developments. Your enhanced humans create a completely different form of consciousness, one that's technologically sophisticated but potentially lacking the depth and wisdom that comes from millennia of gradual cultural evolution. The real problem isn't what you'd expect, though. It's not that your cavemen destroy themselves with premature technology, although that's certainly possible. The deeper issue is that you've eliminated the specific sequence of challenges and solutions that made humans uniquely adaptable and creative. Our actual history includes countless near extinctions, cultural collapses, and recoveries that shaped not just our technology, but our fundamental approach to problem solving. Your enhanced humans develop along a completely different path. They might become incredibly technologically advanced but lose the capacity for the kind of deep philosophical thinking that produced everything from Buddhism to quantum physics in our timeline. They could create vast civilizations but lack the artistic and spiritual traditions that made human culture so rich and diverse. This is where things get truly existential. The humans who eventually emerge from your intervention might be technically superior to us in every way, but they're not really us anymore. They're a different species, shaped by a fundamentally different evolutionary pressure. You haven't accelerated human development. You've redirected it toward something entirely alien. The butterfly effect reaches its ultimate conclusion when these alternate humans eventually develop space travel and encounter other intelligent species. Without the particular combination of scientific thinking, ethical reasoning, and cultural creativity that characterized our timeline's development, they might represent humanity in the cosmos in ways that would horrify us. They could be technologically advanced but culturally primitive, powerful but unwise, capable but lacking the empathy and wisdom that came from our specific developmental journey. So here's the ultimate question. When we think about helping our ancestors, are we actually helping humanity? Or are we imposing our current perspective on a developmental process we don't fully understand? The cavemen you're trying to help aren't just primitive versions of us. They're the specific foundation from which our particular form of consciousness emerged. Change that foundation, and you create something entirely different. Maybe the real gift to our ancestors isn't knowledge, but allowing them to develop the wisdom to discover that knowledge when they're ready for it. Because in the end, the question isn't whether we can accelerate human development, but whether the humans who result from that acceleration would still be recognizably human at all. What would you choose? Give our ancestors a technological head start and risk creating an entirely different species, or preserve the specific developmental journey that created the humans you're trying to help? Let me know in the comments what you think the right choice would be.